Alright guys, next up in the Renegade trilogy is of course Target Renegade, and this is a long play review for the Amstrad CPC, as always. And yeah, this wasn't released in the arcades, but it is an official sequel, but purely for the home computer and console systems. Imagine Software, who did the original Renegade conversion, which was awesome, as you can find out in my last video. They struck a deal with Technos Japan and Taito to allow them to do their own sequels to the game, because I believe Technos, they were moving on to do the Double Dragon series, so they moved on to Double Dragon and allowed Imagine to carry on with the Renegade series on their own steam. It worked out quite nicely. Bit of a bare bones title screen there. Doesn't even have the game title at the top, but oh well, let's start this up. Alright, okay. Gets off to a good start there with bikers coming straight at you from the off. And we got some nice big chunky colourful graphics. And as you can see, the sprites are already moving nice and smooth and fluidly around the screen with some really nice animation. And we've picked up our first weapon as well. In the original Renegades, there wasn't weapons you could use. But as you can see, we've got the full range of moves as well. We've got flying kicks, you can attack people on the floor, punches, normal kicks and back kicks, and you can also grab and knee opponents in the groin and stuff like that. So we start off in a car park, at the top of the car park, and descending down in lifts to the bottom. Now I'm not sure the name of your character in this game, but all I know from the backstory is that he has a brother called Matt, who presumably is like an undercover detective or something like that, and he's been murdered by Mr. Big for investigating his activities. So you've got to go through, I think it's 5 levels, and to finally confront Mr. Big and get your revenge. So this is a beat 'em up revenge story. Now guys, just check out that music in the background. Very weirdly eerie, and it sort of sets a really strange atmosphere and tone for the game. I think it suits it really well. Makes things sound so desolate and sort of seedy. I like it a lot. It really kind of suits the sort of again, gritty urban environment they've gone for in the design of the levels. And what I find really interesting about this music is it's kind of like it goes out of sync. You've got sort of 3 channels of, you know, basically instruments or tones or whatever. Each of them sort of use a similar theme, but they come in at different times as you progress further on, which I think, I'm not sure if that was deliberate or not. It actually creates a very weird and very cool sounding music. Can you notice that and see what I'm on about? At first I thought it was a bug in the game, but the Spectrum version is exactly the same. It's all very discordant and eerie. I like it a lot. And I do love the chunky, colourful graphics. I think the backgrounds could have been spruced up a bit, to be honest with you. They're a little bit basic. But yeah, I do love the graphics, but I don't know, some of you may feel they might be a bit too sort of blocky and chunky. I don't know, but I love that on an Amstrad. I do love big, chunky, colourful graphics. Now the Amstrad and Spectrum versions play very similar. Oh, I was gonna, yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say the sorry, distracted by the prostitute, rather chunky prostitute near me in the groin. And the spectrum graphics, the sprites are a bit more high resolution and more defined. But there's not much separating the Amstrad and Specky versions. But even though the Commodore 64 version and the NES version, that's the only other versions released of Target Renegade, although they look and sound good, they're nowhere near play as good as the Amstrad and Specky versions. And there's not much to choose between the Amstrad and Spectrum versions either. As really, if you prefer the graphical looks of one or the other. As you can see right in this second level, even more eerie and desolate music. This time we're fighting against prostitutes and their pimp who's shooting a gun at you. And if you time it right, he'll appear on the screen and I was going to say shoot one of the prostitutes accidentally back in the back of the head, which is handy. He's not too hard to dispatch, fly kicks will sort him out, but he's got a real nasty kick on him if you get too close, so watch out for that. And it looks like we picked up one of the prostitute's whips. I don't think it has the same range as the axe, or I think it's a hammer actually in the last level. Still, it's quite useful to get. One of the things is like the it's really cool how basically the bad guys or bad girls kind of like sort of team up and gang up around you. Something they got really well here actually, and programmed exceptionally well in those regards. It'd be nothing worse than sort of just randomly standing around the screen and waiting for you to pick them off. Now they gang up and around you and make things tough for you. One useful tip though is that if you haven't picked up the weapon on the floor, then at least one of the enemies will be distracted by the weapon on the floor and go and pick it up, which might give you a bit of a breathing room. But yeah, so on each level you got to get to obviously the end of the level is perhaps about sort of 5 or 6 screens wide to reach the phone box at the end there. As you can see, there's a phone box in the top right corner there. I'm not sure what the point is of the phone box. Are you supposed to be making a call to someone? Alright, well, we're in the park now, fighting against skinheads and strange guys that look like they're in the army. Oh, yeah, we'll see shortly. And we've got some very sort of strange and jolly music playing at the moment. Sort of thing you'd find at a fairground or in the park maybe. It's kind of at odds with the game, but it actually works kind of well. Oh yeah, there's those sort of, I call them army dudes. They've got a really nasty flying kick, so watch out for them. Yeah, so you can attack at a distance against these guys. Flying kicks always come in useful. And the flying kicks do look really graceful. I think they've got the right sort of... well, the programmers have got it just right in terms of how you sort of fly and float across. If you look at the NES version, it looks completely wrong, as does the Commodore 64 one. Now, I'm not sure what that blue weapon is I've picked up. Is that like a baseball bat? Or a... I don't know actually. Strange having this jolly music when you're fighting skinheads. But the music is awesome in this game, but unfortunately I don't know actually the programmer of the music. Can't find it listed anywhere. It might be Matthew Cannon, I think. He did quite a few good tunes for Ocean and Imagine software. Just have a look at the instructions, see if there's any credits listed. think so. Oh right, okay, music's by a person called Gary Biasolo. Not actually heard of him before. But the game was coded by Mike Lamb and graphics by Dawn Drake. If you're familiar with 8-bit computer games of the late 80s, you should know who those guys are, because they're the guys at Ocean who did Robocop, Batman the movie, W.C. Le Mans, and I think a couple of others as well. They were some of the best games ever from Ocean and Imagine Software. Of course, Ocean brought out Imagine in the mid to late 80s when they were suffering severe financial difficulties through their ridiculous overspending. Suggest you go and have a read up on the Imagine story. It's quite interesting actually, how badly managed they were. Despite having some really fantastic and mega selling games, they fucked it all up. Anyway, enough about that. Alright, that should do it for this level. I was going to say as well, there's a nice difficulty curve in this game. Each level does get progressively difficult, with enemies being able to do more and different things. Now this level, we're on to level 4, and things get really tough now. These guys do not make it easy for you. And you now got a pitbull terrier chasing after you that wants to maul you. It's really hard actually in this level, so you have to time it just right to try and sneak past two of these guys. And if they've got enough energy, you can't even attack them on the floor like then. They'll just bump you off them. But there's another type of enemy on this level who's a real swine, because he'll actually he'll actually duck your flying kicks, like so. But I worked out how to beat them. Fly kick over them if you time it right, and then do a back kick. And you may be able to tackle them by punching them, but occasionally they'll win through, and then suddenly you've lost a large section of your energy. As you can see, it's really hard to split them up so you can get your attacks in. Oh jeez. Nearly out of energy now. Get rid of that guy on his own. Oh. I've lost my first life. Oh yeah, I can probably do this actually without losing a life. I'll be honest with you guys, this is a video recorded many months ago. It's actually already on my channel, but without sort of commentary and review. So really all I'm doing is just adding my sort of commentary and review. And at the end of the video, something very important I'm going to show you, which is basically you can have simultaneous two-player co-op action, which makes this game absolutely fantastic. It's the two-player beat 'em up to have alongside Double Dragon, because teamwork on that could prove really useful. For example, later levels, the bosses and other nasties can basically pick you up and grab you and basically repeatedly headbutt and bear hug you. But if you've got your second player alongside you, they can knock you free by doing a back kick into the bad guy, thus saving your life. Rather interestingly though, you can actually attack your other player if you really want to, and knock them down. Anyway, wait and see later on. But as I was saying, this is an old video I did a while ago, so I could really be asked to sort of re-record this and try and just do it again without trying to lose a life. It's definitely possible. So yeah, remember with those, oh yeah, they're called the Beastie Boys, spelled B-E-A-S-T-Y, instead of TIE on the end in the instructions. Obviously, a homage to the Beastie Boys of the late 80s. Oh, come on, everyone knows who the Beastie Boys are. Obviously wearing sort of late 80s sort of hip hop garb there as well in their clothing. Not sure what those dudes are meant to be looking like. Yeah, do watch out for your time as well. That does tick down and you can get quite close to the bone by the end of the level, so you can't fanny about too much. Ah! Here's their weapon in this level, the brick. Very useful. Quite hard to get hold of, because that Beastie Boy will always go for the brick. Spectrum version, oh, beautiful. Spectrum version doesn't feature the brick or any weapon in this level, strangely enough. Oh, how did he avoid that brick there? Very close to losing another life there. I think I'll be able to do it though. If you get in line with him, he'll always throw the brick, even if you're out the range of the brick being thrown. It's kind of useful to remember. Whoa! It's that bloody dog again. Fly kick or back kick him. Alright, we're not far from the end now. This is the final level in Mr. Big's bar. And this time he sent his bodyguards and bouncers after you. Again, using because they duck, use my fly kick over them and then back kick method. After a couple of times doing that, make sure you get him on, knock him on the floor, kick him while I'm down. Whatever you do, try not to engage in a fisticuffs battle, because these guys will basically grab you and headbutt you and take off like half your energy. So you do want to get hold of that pull cue. Oh, like that! Looks like he's eating my face. There you go, coming up not long to go. But guys, I'm going to sum up a review here. I'm also going to give this game a 9 out of 10. It's close to giving it just 8.5. But I think with the 2-player option, it nudges it just to a 9 out of 10. I think I gave Renegade a 9 out of 10 last. And it may just come down to personal preference, which one you prefer. For me, Renegade is a bit more sort of pick up and play. You know, if you want a quick beat 'em up action, go for Renegade. Where this is like a little bit more, slightly sedated pace, but you know, similarly, perhaps not as good graphics, but still great graphics. I absolutely love the weird and eerie music. Oh, here's the final boss battle against Mr. Big. But yeah, this is all fantastic. 9 out of 10 overall. And just check out after this for the I've added extra footage of a two players co-oping. Oh, basically if he grabs you once, it's it's game over. But we got enough lives. I think you gain an extra life every 50,000 points or so anyway. Yay, and we've done it. Watching the game just loops around. It gets tougher. No real ending, but you know, oh well. Still, 9 out of 10 from me, guys. Up next, Renegade 3. So enjoy. Here's some 2-player co-op footage, and see you next time. Cheers, bye.